On today's episode of Warehouse Safety Tips, we're going to be talking about staying safe and focused. So stay tuned. Welcome to Warehouse Safety Tips. If you're a seasoned vodcast viewer, this vodcast is going to be different from most that you watch. It's based around exactly what the name implies, warehouse safety tips. And since the people in this industry are busy, we know that time is money, so each episode will be as short and to the point as possible. And now, with all that out of the way, let's get to the vodcast. First and foremost, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas on today's Warehouse Safety Tips. I'm looking a little bit like Santa myself, and here are going to be a few tips to keep you safe and focused during the holidays, and all the time as well. The very first thing we want to talk about is making sure that you go through and observe the messiness that can happen during holidays. That can be everything from having more pressure, messes, long hours, and just overall tiredness. So make sure that you focus on that and keep everything as tight as possible on your safety and focus regiments. So the tips that we want to share with you are as followed. The very first thing is make sure that when it comes to phones, you keep your phones in your desks or in lockers. Don't use them during business hours. Make sure that you are checking messages or taking calls only on breaks or lunch. The next thing is going to be making sure that you communicate. Make sure that during either pre or post shift updates, you listen to what's going on at your facility and that you know all the different things that are going on so that you can stay as safe and focused as possible. Make sure that you are going through, and if you see something, you say something to management. The next thing is going to be making sure that you are keeping a good pace. Make sure that you follow guidelines, stop if you have any questions, and don't get rushed and do something inappropriate or wrong because you're being rushed. The next thing is going to be making sure that you take breaks. Make sure that you rest if you're tired and only return once you are rested. And last, but certainly not least, make sure that you observe all equipment. That is going to be making sure that you have the appropriate PPE, personal protective equipment, and that you're only using anything such as equipment that you are trained on. You don't want to hop on something to try to get something done while you're waiting on someone else. If you're trained on the equipment, you can use it safely, but if you're not, wait and just don't ever use equipment unless properly trained. All these tips, as always, are only if it is appropriate for your specific facility. Follow all the rules and guidelines that are at your specific facility. And we thank you so much for being part of Warehouse Safety Tips. Again, Merry Christmas. Make sure that you stay safe. And here is a word from one of our sponsors.
It's scientifically unexplainable. It's virtually indestructible. And it's taking over the entire planet. But in a really good way. It's Mighty Line floor tape, the most durable floor tape in the world. 7 times thicker than average floor tape. Beveled to endure pounding warehouse traffic. And backed with a super strong peel and stick adhesive, so you'll never have to worry about painting shop floors again. Mighty Line floor tape, the only durable stripe.